Two. What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 107. And today we're going to break down the outfield. And now in the Bigs, we play left, center, and right. But to do that individually would be absolutely ridiculous. So we're just going to throw them all together and do an outfield show. But this is going to be part one of two. And tonight we're going to go over 50 through 26. Tomorrow, we will do 25 through 1 in the outfield. With me tonight, as always, Jason Ashby. Jason, how you feeling this evening, my friend?
Doing well, Joe. Happy to be here to talk about outfield. Yeah, this is another wild position. I feel like there's a large chunk of these guys where I could throw them up in any order and let them fall, and I could be okay with that ranking.
There's a lot of dudes to be worried about this year. Honestly, I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 80. I have 75 currently ranked. So another 25 beyond what we're talking about. But let's dive right into this thing. Let's not waste any time because we've got a lot of guys to go through. Let's start at number 50 because that's always fun. We're going to count down to 26, and then tomorrow we will count down from 25 to 1. So, Jason, who is your number 50 outfielder this year?
I have, because why the hell not? I have Esteury Ruiz.
Okay, I've got him at 52, so
Okay,
you're not that far off from me.
Yeah. Obviously the speed is what plays here for him. Didn't strike out a ton either, but that's really it for him. In Oakland, there's no pressure, so maybe he does something nice and surprising. But I'm not counting on it.
I saw the 315 BABIP and thought, wow, that's a little bit high, but that's to be expected here because he has such elite speed that when he hits those infield grounders, those are going to get hits for him. I love it. I just wish he did something else.
Yeah.
You know, the 67 steals is absolutely dynamite, but hit 254, expected batting average of 234, doesn't get on base at an elite rate, doesn't hit the ball at an elite rate. Doesn't strike out all that much, 99 strikeouts and 450 at bats. So it's not terrible.
And
he does have triple eligible.
Because of that lack of on base, he's probably not going to be the leadoff guy, which kind of hurts his whatever value he was going to have. So that's why I have him all the way down here.
Yeah, that means he's going to be hitting at the bottom of the order. It's probably not the greatest thing in the world. Triple eligible is about the only other good thing I can come up with here. So you get to play him at all three eligibilities. My number 50, sir, is Nolan Jones, and I want you to take the rest of this show and explain to me how much further up I need to move Nolan Jones because I'm not impressed. I'm really not impressed with a 401 BABIP and a batting average 50 points better than his expected batting average over 100 games. I'm just not excited about this dude, but I will sit here and I will listen this entire show to any argument you had that I should move Nolan Jones ahead of the guys I've got here.
I mean, spoiler alert. Therefore, we're gonna bookend this episode with Nolan Jones.
You've got him at 25.
I have him at 26.
26. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So on either end of this show, we're going to talk about Nolan Jones. But between now and then, chime in and say, you know what, you should really put Nolan Jones ahead of this guy because X, right? Okay. Like that's what we're trying to do. This is the goal of this show is to move Nolan Jones.
It's the Nolan Jones show.
It is. So who is number 49 for you, sir?
I have Jarred Kelenic.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to move to Atlanta. Another change of scenery. He's going to be part of this, ridiculous offense. And from all accounts, he's going to play mostly every day out there in left field. So even if he's hitting 7th or 8th, behind the guns and ahead of, the Acuna and the Albies, he could be in line for a good breakout season. He's also triple eligible, I believe. Why not? He's still only 24 years old, so there's still a lot there.
Dumping him into the middle of the Braves order really upsets me because it was our prospect that we sent for Edwin Diaz, and now he's going to be playing on the Braves for the next couple of years. I've got him a little bit further down. I've got him outside my top 50 at 62, right in front of guys like Randall Grichuk and Brent Rooker. I just don't like the strikeout rate. I thought the BABIP was extremely high. He did earn every bit of his 253 batting average with a nice little 327 on base, but I want to see it in Atlanta. I want to see this dude actually succeed before I put him anywhere near my team again, because he was my center fielder last year, if you don't remember, and that didn't work out. That did not work out at all. My number 49, sir, hit 36 doubles last year, 16 homers, hit 275. It is Austin Hayes of the Baltimore Orioles, and I think this dude is going to sneak under the radar in a lot of places this year. The Baltimore Orioles have a very stacked lineup, and this dude being the fifth hitter there with center and left eligibility, I happen to really like Austin Hayes. I know you do as well. Do you have him higher?
I do. Not too much higher, but in the 40s. And I carried him for a while last year, and he was one of my most productive hitters for a
Mm-hmm.
good part of the season. I do feel like he maybe fizzled out a little bit towards the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But he's left and center eligible. Good pop. Yeah, in the middle of that Orioles lineup, it's a good spot.
The reason I have him right here next to Nolan Jones, he also had a very high BABIP and a very low expected batting average
Yeah.
proportionally to his batting average. So I feel like these guys are kind of similar. I just Austin Hayes has done it longer, so
Yeah.
he gets the nod here.
And again, like we've done in other positions, I'm looking at track record also for guys who have it. And like his last 3 seasons, Austin Hayes, like his batting average is 260, but his expected batting average is 242 over the last 3 seasons. So he's kind of been consistent in the fact that he's not hitting as where he should be.
He's outperforming his expected
Exactly.
batting
Yeah.
average, right? And
Yeah.
that can be done year over year over year. A guy like Albert Pujols used to do it all the time, but Albert Pujols crushed the ball. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll see. I like Austin Hayes. I like him as a sneaky little sleeper fourth outfielder maybe this year, though I think he might end up starting for somebody. Who do you have at 48?
48. One last shot for this guy, and let's see what he can do. It's Chris Bryant.
I have him a little bit lower as well at 55. Go ahead.
Yeah. Look, he's still only 32, which in baseball world is not ancient. It's not, obviously he's not a spring chicken. It's just a matter of whether getting on the field. If he can stay on the field and hit in Coors Field, there is no reason he can't have another 30 home run season in him. It's just so like this is it. Like if there's another 75 game season in store for him, then I'm out. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to give him one more shot. So that's why I have him down here at the bottom.
Yeah, 55 for me, 300 at bats last year. Just an unreliable dude over the last few years since moving to Colorado. Just not feeling it. Only
Yeah.
right field eligible along with first base. So that's nice to have double eligibility, but there's a lot of dudes with a lot of eligibility here in the outfield. So I'm not gonna give him any bump there because of it. At 48, I have Christopher Morel. 26 home runs, but a ton of strikeouts. We've talked about him on other shows. Crushes the ball, but again, like he could be in line for a huge season, or he could just be a flash in the pan. Center and right field eligible, so the double eligibility again. But again, I just don't like the strikeout rate, and I'm not entirely sure that this dude is real. So
Yeah.
I've got him here.
It's funny because I had him ranked in second base, but
Mhm.
actually, strange enough, I have him at 55 for outfield. Because also I just like I had him again last year too, and it was nice for a week and a half or so while he was crushing it, but the rest of it was really hard to roster him.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's difficult to roster anymore, and I wonder where he's going to end up going in the draft because he's still a name. People are still going to gravitate toward his name, but I just don't think that he's going to carry what he used to be. Who do you have at 47, my friend?
47, I have Alex Verdugo here.
Okay, I've got him a little bit higher.
Yeah. None of his numbers really like screamed at me that like, there's not a whole lot of home runs, there's not a whole lot of stolen bases, there's not a whole lot of
Mhm.
RBIs. So the count stats kind of the doubles are nice. He had 37 doubles last year, 39 the year
Mm-hmm.
before. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of that was Green Monster aided. Um, and maybe now in Yankee Stadium, maybe those go out. So I don't know. Um I don't hate him. I'm not like enthralled with him.
37 doubles, 93 strikeouts, and almost 550 at bats. That's what I love is the low strikeout rate.
Yeah.
Just a decent average in on base percentage, a decent OPS. The guy doesn't hit the ball incredibly hard, but in that lineup, I want to see where he's hitting in that lineup, because if he ends up being their leadoff hitter, forget it. He's flying up my board.
For sure. For sure. Right now, roster resource has him hitting sixth. And
Okay, I don't like that as much.
and they do have him platooning with Trent Grisham. Obviously, he's the long end. He's the he gets the
The
start against the
strong
right
side of the
hitters. But
platoon, but
yeah,
yeah.
but there's going to be some juggling out there. So I don't know if he's going to get consistent playing time.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about that too. My number 47 is Thomas John Friedel of the Cincinnati Redlegs. 18 homers, 27 steals last year, 279 batting average, but much like Nolan Jones, 239 expected batting average. So that's 40 points better with a 308 BABIP. That's in line with some decent, with normal numbers. But he also didn't strike out as much, 16.2 strikeout percentage. I like the Reds. I don't love the Reds, but I think that this is one of the kids that they're building around, and I center and right field or center and left field eligible, so double eligibility again. We're gonna see what this kid can do.
Yeah, I tried to get him in here. I just couldn't. Just because again with the especially with the Reds, I don't know how playing time is going to work. If and he's on like I guess so is Nolan Jones, but he's unproven. The numbers are nice. The numbers are certainly nice, and
Mhm.
I could definitely try and make room for him. I'm just a little uncertain about him.
And the only thing I'd be concerned about as well is that expected batting average versus reality. He outperformed it by a mile. So I don't know if that's going to be something that translates here in 2024. So we'll see.
Yep.
Who do you have at 46?
46, I have MJ Melendez, catcher eligibility, 25 years old. The Royals are up and coming. I think they're, a year or two maybe out from really, but in this shitty Central AL Central division, who knows? His numbers have not been good. Especially the on base has been, dreadful. But he's only 25 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's something there. Catch again. He has catcher eligibility for one more year. He's not going to catch this year, so that's going to go away. But for right now, I'm willing to take a shot on him.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only thing that's really climbing him up this board for you is that catcher eligibility, because he's not exactly a great player. I'm not a fan. I don't have him even in my top 75. So
Yep.
I just sort of shrug my shoulders and go, maybe it's the
Yeah.
Royals. They need somebody to step forward. And if it's him, great. You're right. He is only 25 years old.
Yeah.
My number 46, this might be one of those guys that you make the argument that Nolan Jones needs to go in front of, but I have Tyler O'Neill here. And the change of scenery into Boston just reeks of breakout to me.
I have O'Neill higher, not higher than
Oh,
Nolan Jones, but I have him higher than you do.
okay. I mean, he had an injury plagued season last year, and I think that's 2 years in a row that have been injury plagued for him. So the change of scenery might just be the best thing for him. And in that lineup, hitting around Rafi Devers and Tristan Casas and Trevor Story, I like it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really gonna, as long as he's healthy, I don't think there's gonna be much encroachment on his playing time like he may have, found in St. Louis. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he was in favor with Ali Marmol in St. Louis. So yeah, I think like I said, change of scenery, as long as he's healthy, left and center eligible in the bigs. But the guy's real.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. And I know he's a Mike Haber favorite, even though he didn't do well last year for him. Who do you have at 45?
45. Speaking of the Cardinals, I have Tommy Edman here.
Ooh, you said speaking of the Cardinals, and I got excited because I have a Cardinal at 45, but it's not Tommy Edman.
Okay, that's fun. Yeah. We talked about Edmund on a couple of the other shows because he's eligible just about everywhere. The speed is what keeps him afloat here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to check out Tommy Edman, go back to I think it was our second base show is where we hit on him the most. So
Yeah,
go check on him. My Cardinal at 45, triple eligible in the outfield, the Lars Delicious Caramel Newt Bar.
I have
He
him
was
higher.
wow, 14 homers, 11 steals last year, and kind of split time in the outfield. Only had 425 at bats. 99 strikeouts, was good for 19.7% strikeout rate. Doesn't crush the ball, doesn't do any one thing particularly well, but is like a B to a B plus across all the categories here.
Yeah. He's projected to hit third, right between Goldschmidt and Arenado.
I like that.
Yeah. And now with the O'Neill trade, he's locked into playing left field every day. Like, just leave him there and let him go. And hit right between those two mammoths, and he should feast on that.
Yeah, and again, triple eligible, so you can play him anywhere in the outfield. He's definitely a dude that I think Bobby Russo had him last year, and he did well for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move to number 44. Who do you have there?
44, I have our friend Jeff McNeil.
I have McNeil a little bit higher than that, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm trying to be tepid with him just because he's been all over the board. He's been really good and really bad, and I don't know what we're going to see from him this year. And the Mets in general. So I kind of have him here kind of like middle-ish. I could see him going up. I could see him falling off.
Yeah. He's got left and right eligible along with second base. If you want to check out more about Jeff McNeil, go check out our second base podcast. We talked pretty extensively about him. My number 44, sir, another triple eligible guy on a first play or a very, very good team. I won't say a first place team because I can't guarantee his team's going to win the division. But what the fuck did Chas McCormick do fucking around and almost going 2020 last year? 22 homers, 70 RBIs, 19 steals, a 273 average it was a 243 expected, so it's not as good as you would expect. A 353 on base was really nice. A 25+% strikeout rate is not great. So there's a mixed bag here, but I feel like they are committed to this dude this season, and in that lineup with this team, I'm certainly going to buy in on it, especially triple eligible. Yeah. You groaned when I said Chas McCormick. Why?
Because I had him in the top 50 for a while, and I don't know if it's the expected batting average or just that last 3 years he's averaged 114 games. I don't know, show me a full season, and now he's promised to get it. So let me see what he can do in a full season. I like him. I like the triple eligibility. The power speed combo is nice. I just want to make sure it's real before I commit to saying he belongs in my top 50.
I can understand that. Now, who do you have at 43?
43, I have James Outman here from the Dodgers.
Okay. I have him a little bit lower. I have him at 56, mostly because of the strikeouts.
It's the lineup around him that is sexy for me. The strikeouts are awful. 181 strikeouts and 567 plate appearances. Not good. 23 home runs, 16 stolen bases. Nice. Left and center field eligible. I don't know. Again, he's a guy who I'm hoping for a step forward here in 2024, but I could see him just being a fourth outfielder.
His numbers were very comparable to Chas McCormick. 23 homers to 22, 70 RBIs for each, 19 homers for 19 steals for McCormick, 16 for Outman. The big difference there is the plate discipline and the ability to not strike out.
Yeah.
They both now Outman hit 243. McCormick's expected batting average was 243. These guys could be very similar, and I'm going to be interested to see at season's end what the numbers line up for between these two guys. I like the comparison of those two.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
My number 43 hasn't even taken an at bat in the majors yet. It's Jackson Chourio. And it's going to be an interesting one here with the next three, because the next three are really young guys that I've put here.
Okay.
But Jackson Chourio is going to get all the opportunity in the world to play center field for the Brewers on opening day. They signed him to this huge deal. So I'm not too concerned about playing time as much as I am other guys that we've already talked about. But I'm not going to throw him up inside my top 30 when he hasn't even taken an at bat. So 43 is where I feel like I was
So
safest
you'll take
here.
A guy who hasn't had a single major league at bat over Nolan Jones.
Yes, because Nolan Jones showed me that he can strike out a whole lot and outperform his metrics. Yes.
Okay.
Who do you have at 42?
42. I moved him up recently. I have Lourdes Gurriel here.
He's just missed at 51.
Yeah, and I can see that. And honestly, like these are like I feel they're so tough to, like I said, you could throw all these guys up in the air and let them land, and I'd be okay with how they land it. But like Gurriel, like he does a lot of things good, nothing great. 24 home runs, 82 RBIs, 35 doubles. Like those are nice numbers.
Those are great
Um,
numbers.
yeah, and his batting average and expected batting average are the same.
Hmm.
So like he's a true guy. Again, nothing like wows me like, but like the 35 doubles are nice.
Hmm.
Um, so I have him here. I like the Diamondbacks. He's only 30 years old. Yeah, he's safe. He's a safe
He doesn't
option.
walk as much as I would like. A 309 on base is not great, and only 33 walks and 551 at bats. Like not great,
Yeah.
but I'm going to take the 24 bombs, the 35 doubles, and the 80 RBIs every day, especially late round like Gurriel's going to go.
And it's interesting. In 2022, he had a 343 on base, but he only hit 5 home runs. So it's like he
Yeah,
flipped it.
what happened there?
He came to Arizona and changed his approach, I guess.
Hmm. Well, we'll see if that continues. If it does, he should be able to get back up into the top, I would say 40 next year with
Yeah.
another nice performance. My number 42 is another young kid. I told you three in a row here from me. Left and center eligible for Jaron Duran. Tell me about Jaron Duran. I know you like him.
Yeah, I have him a little higher. In fact, I
Hmm.
have him along with Nolan Jones because, yeah, I feel like those two to me go together because I feel like they could both break out and have a really nice big season for their respective clubs. Duran, yeah, left and center, like you said, left and center eligible. I have him at 27. Um, I like to see a little more. The 24 steals is nice. Give me some
Hmm.
double digit home runs. Um, but everything else in his game looked really nice to me.
Yeah, he only had half a season, 332 at bats. So that's,
Yep.
that's if you extrapolate that out to 600 at bats, he probably does have close to 20 homers. He had 8 in 332. Did absolutely well. He's got a 381 BABIP, which is scary. The expected batting average is about 30 points lower than what he actually hit in 295. So I'm not bullish on him, but I do
Right.
like him to take a step forward here.
He's due to hit leadoff on top of that order, so
I
like
like that.
that's a nice spot too.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
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 Who do you have at 41?
41 is where I have Austin Hayes.
That's right. We talked about him. I have Evan Carter here.
Yeah.
This
Tell
is
me
the
about Evan Carter.
third of these young kids that I all sort of grouped together. Carter had 62 at bats in 2023, but he's going to hit in the middle of that world champion Texas Rangers offense, right behind Simeon, Seager, and Adalis Garcia. It sounds like he's going to be either cleanup or fifth, which is fantastic. Let's have you clean up all of this stuff. The fear, does he take a step back? Is he not as good as advertised? Is he not as good as we saw in the postseason? I think he's every bit as good as advertised, and I think he's going to go a lot higher than this 41, which probably tells you that I'm out on him being on my fantasy team. But if you've got him in a dynasty league, by all means, you're going to be set for at least a decade with this guy.
Yeah. I I've tried to get him in, but with only 60 some odd at bats, like I or 60, I just couldn't get him. I need to see more. I need to see
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Because yeah, I could see him like launching up these standings or again just being just, another, busted rookie. Um
exactly.
so but yeah, where he's hitting is absolutely sexy. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm. Number 40 is where I have Alex Verdugo. So who do you have at 40?
I have Stephen Kwan here.
Okay, Quan is a little bit higher for me.
Yeah, I look you know what he is. He's an average on base guy. Steal 20 some odd steals and no strikeouts. So that's
Hmm.
good. Like it's
Hmm.
nice. It just doesn't. Again, it's not as flashy as some of the other guys that I have.
Yeah, 93 runs scored because he hits at the top of the lineup. Decent batting average, decent on base percentage, just decent player all the way around without any strikeouts. 70 walks to 75 strikeouts last year. Gotta love that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Number 39, sir. Who do you have at 39?
I have Masataka Yoshida.
Oh, I've got him a little bit higher as well.
Yeah, I wasn't duly impressed by his rookie year. It was solid. It was a good rookie year. He kind of faltered towards the end. He might have like started losing steam or whatever. Um, so yeah, I just want to see another good full season from him and see if like which way is he going to go. I feel like he's on that teetering where he could like
Mm.
be terrible or be an all-star. So at 30 years old, he's not young, not old, but again, hitting right in the middle of that order is a nice place to be.
Love the 289 batting average. Love the fact that he does not strike out very much, 14% of the time. Doesn't walk as much as I'd like to. Yet again, we're talking about that. But 15 homers, 72 RBIs in a full season rookie year. Yeah, let's see you take a step forward. Hit 20 bombs this year, and then we can talk about you being up inside the top 25.
For sure.
My number 39 is a guy that I was really high on last year. Got him on my fantasy team, but didn't really see what he was capable of. I think there's another gear that we're going to see. Jordan Walker here, 16 homers, 7 steals, 51 RBIs. He kind of just was last year. He was just getting his feet wet in this terrible team that they had, and for whatever reason, they just couldn't figure out how to win games. It was a good year for him. He only struck out 22% at 22.5% of the time. Didn't walk very much. Just was. And I just want to see another year of him.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't I don't have him in my top 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, I remember when you drafted him, I was like kicking furniture because I was so mad. Like I really wanted him,
Mm-hmm.
and like yeah, and I think the again the Tyler O'Neill trade probably opens up more consistent playing time for him as long as he's productive.
Yeah.
Um, so there could be something there. I just need to see it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's going to be their everyday right fielder this year. Again, depending on where he hits in the lineup, which will determine how well he does in the counting stats, I just don't know what's going to happen in St. Louis on opening day. So I want to wait and see. But I could see him moving up, honestly. I could see him moving up if they
Sure.
put him in an interesting spot as well. Look, he's ahead of Lars Nootbaar, who's going to hit between Arenado and Goldschmidt. If he hits behind all of those guys, fantastic. If he hits in front of those guys, also fantastic. I just don't know where he's going to land.
And look, he's only what 22 years old.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like a 26-year-old busted prospect here. Like he's there's still something there.
Mm-hmm. That finishes up the bottom tier for me here with 39 through 50. I have 11 dudes in that stack. This next stack here, one of these things is not like the other. Let's see which one you can point out. So who do you have at 38?
38. Here I have Spencer Steer, who
Okay.
we talked about on several other shows because
He's
he's
in
always
this
been
tier.
somewhere.
He's in this tier.
Okay, Steer's in this tier.
He is. He is. I have Jorge Soler here.
I have him just a couple of spots higher.
Right. So it's a huge power, but a ton of strikeouts and not much else. Decent on base percentage, I guess, at 341 last year. 24 doubles, 36 homers, 75 RBIs in Miami. He now moves across the country to San Francisco, which is not a great ballpark, especially for right-handed hitters. So this is why I've got him a little bit lower here.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never really been a big fan. And honestly, up until like yesterday, I think I had him like down in the low 40s. But I look more at his numbers. He hits the ball really hard. His ex-Woba is really nice.
Mhm.
So like there are metrics there that made me want to move him up. It'd be interesting to see how he fares in San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's not much around him to protect him unless we're counting Michael Conforto.
Right. Wilmer
So
Flores. Like yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's not we know how San Francisco is. There's not going to be like the real he's the thumper, but there's nobody else.
right, right. So who do you have at 37?
37 I have Ian Happ.
I've got him a bit higher. In
I
fact, I've
figured.
got him. I've got him in my top 25.
Yeah, I figured and at one point I thought about it. And then again I started looking at the numbers and especially over the last 3 years, it's not great. It's not terrible, it's just not great. The strikeouts are a mess. Uh
Mhm.
40% of the
That's not
time
a.
that's
22% of the time last year, over 580 at bats, he struck out 150 times. That's not.
It was really driven up by 2021. It was a
Mhm.
really he struck out almost 30% of the time in
Yeah.
2021. But even like 248 average and the 360 on base is nice, but like
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like 21 home runs. I need more from him. Like
Mm.
if he's gonna hit 248, give me 30 bombs.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, 14 steals, 21 homers, 35 doubles, and 84 RBIs, 86 runs scored. I think that's a top 25 player.
Yeah.
I think that's and 99 walks was huge last year. I don't know if that continues. I don't know if the on base percentage continues, but if it does, then yeah, I think you have to make this guy top 25.
If it does, yeah. I
Mhm.
look. I've always liked him. I like his profile, but I just like I have him at 37, so like I have him ranked.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
don't hate the guy.
yeah.
I'd like to see just the 35 doubles is nice too, but give me 30 bombs and then you're absolutely in the top 25.
Okay. I here at 37 also have a Chicago outfielder, but not on the Cubs. It's a White Sox outfielder, Eloy Jimenez.
Okay.
He took a tumble for me last year because you know what? He's just another dude who can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
And 18 homers, 64 RBIs, 23 doubles, only 50 runs scored, a 19% strikeout rate, but no walks. Like he walked 30 times all year. Nah, I think I'm out on Eloy now. I had my year of Eloy. I think I'm out.
Yeah, so I talked about Chris Bryant, how like this is like the last year, like, and if he can't stay healthy, I'm out. Like I have Eloy in a similar position in my top 25. He's right at
Mm,
the bottom there, and but same thing. Like this is it.
this is
Otherwise,
it.
because he's already 27. Like if he can't put together a full season, like I'm out.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm already out because I got burned last year. So
Fair.
if he's gonna be healthy and do something, he's gonna do it on somebody else's team this year. I just can't take that risk anymore.
Yep.
Who do you have at 36?
36. I have Soler.
Okay. I have Jeff McNeil.
Okay.
So I've got two power hitters and Jeff McNeil. One of these things is not like the other.
Him.
Yeah.
Watch him go out and hit 25 bombs this year.
No chance.
No.
No chance. All right. Who do you have at 35?
35. I have my old friend Christian Yelich.
Oh, you said your old friend, and I was expecting you to name the guy that I have at 35, but not correct. I actually have Yelich much higher. Wow, I'm surprised. I have Yelich in the top 15.
Really? I
Yeah.
look, yeah, look, I had him all last year and it was fun. It was good. It was good to see him come back and bounce back from the dreadfulness that he had the last few years before that. I just I don't know. There were still injury problems that worry me. 137 games is not nothing, but it's not a full season to me. So I don't know. Like the numbers were good. The
hmm
average was okay.
hmm
Uh, I probably could move him up.
I think you should, man. 100 runs scored last year, 34 doubles, 28 steals, and a 278 batting average. I think he deserves a little bit more respect than this.
Yeah, I guess I could, but I don't know. I don't know how much more is left of him. These back problems are gonna be a thing for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we're definitely not gonna see a 2019 Yelich anymore. And,
No, no. The
you know,
the 40 homer dude is not a real thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm certainly not out on him, but I'm not like gonna sell the farm for him either.
Okay. My number 35 is a dude that I believe you had him last year. Was it Lane Thomas you had on your team last year?
I probably had him for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh
100 runs scored, 36 doubles, 28 homers, 20 steals, 176 strikeouts.
yeah,
That's a lot.
that's
That's a
what
lot.
I don't even have him ranked
Uh, I've got
because
him
of
at
that.
35 because he did go 2020, almost fucked around and went 30-20. Nice little batting average, no on base percentage to speak of, only 36 walks and 628 at bats. Truth be told, I don't like this guy at all, but I think he's deserving of a ranking somewhere around this area. He fits the mold of like guys I don't necessarily like, but they deserve to have a spot here because they had a decent last year and have a track record at some point. So Lane Thomas fits with Jimenez and Soler and guys I don't like.
I can see that. I can see it. I
Yeah.
just I don't know. I do think the Nationals are up and coming, but I also don't love like he's hitting like ahead of Joey Gallo. Like
Ew.
yeah. So if that's the case, I don't love that. Um
I just dropped him under Soler with you saying that. Like that's
we
I
love
mean,
our
he's still
Joey
in the same
Gallo.
tier. He's still in the same tier, but he now becomes my number 38. So
There you go.
gross. I don't like Lane Thomas at all. All
And
right,
Lane Thomas is better than Nolan Jones.
yeah, but Lane Thomas did it. Like he did it for a
Yeah,
full
Nolan Jones
year.
is gonna do it.
Okay, and that's the difference here. Who do you have at 34?
34, I have Newbar.
Bar. I have Steer. So again,
Okay,
guy I don't necessarily believe in, but is deserving of a spot here with a 23 homer, 15 steal season. So
for sure.
who do you have at 33?
Tyler O'Neill.
I have a guy we haven't talked about yet, and it's
Okay.
Seiya Suzuki.
Okay, I have him a little
And,
bit higher, but
and
yep.
this will wrap up this tier of dudes I don't like but deserve to be here. Um, I like him the most of this group, but a 341 BABIP is just indicative of a fall from grace with this 285 batting average. 357 on base percentage is really nice, but only 59 walks, which makes me wonder like how did he get this big an on base percent? I guess the 285 batting average contributed to it. Did have an 842 OPS. He had a really nice season. If this is legit, then he's going to move up next year. But for right now, I just don't trust this. I don't believe in this dude.
His expected batting was right in line with his
I know.
true
I
batting.
know, and it's
So
weird. I can't justify this in my head of why I don't trust this guy. I just
yeah,
don't trust him.
48.1 hard percent rate. Like
Mhm.
strikeouts aren't gonna kill you. Right. There's nothing about him that again that's like he like super sexy,
Right.
but everything is just okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he going to hit in that Cubs lineup? Do we know? Because
Uh,
that's really going to be determining whether or not I move this guy out of this tier and into the bottom of the next tier, or if he just stays here with guys I don't like.
so roster resource has him batting fifth, right behind Cody Bellinger.
That's two lefty. Is he a lefty?
He's righty.
He's a righty. Okay. No, he's going to stay right there. I don't necessarily like being in front of Bellinger or being behind Bellinger. Nope.
Yeah, the roster resource has Nico Horner, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger, Seiya Suzuki, and Christopher Morel.
See, if they swapped Seiya Suzuki and Dansby Swanson, I'd be in on it.
That'd be nice.
That'd be
nice.
really pretty. I would like that, but
Yeah.
they're not. So we move on. Number 32 for you, sir.
Somebody we haven't talked about. I have Anthony Santander here.
Oh, I've got him a lot higher too. I've got him in my top 20.
Yeah. The expected batting average is way lower than his true batting average, and the 152 strikeouts is kind of not terrible, I guess. But I don't know. It's just he was nice. I like the first base and right field eligibility. I don't know. I again 95 RBI is nice, is great. 41 doubles is terrific.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I could move him up. I could definitely.
Yeah, I think you should move him up. Switch hitter with 28 homers, 41 doubles,
And he's in
95
Milwaukee, if I'm not
RBIs.
mistaken.
Yeah, all of these things are true. And I think he's going to ball out this year and get paid. Yeah, 41 doubles, 81 runs scored, 152 strikeouts is only 23% of the time, which is league average.
Tell you what, I am moving him up to. I can only get him a little bit further up.
Okay.
I have him. I'm moving up to 30.
Okay, fair enough. Interesting who I have at 30, but at 32, I have a guy who's technically not outfield eligible, but is going to become outfield eligible at some point early this season. I have Byron Buxton here. I didn't find another spot that we would talk about Byron Buxton, so I thought that this would be a decent spot for him. Again, he's at the bottom of this next tier of guys that I trust more than the guys I don't like, but I could see him falling into the guys I don't like tier.
Yeah, I have him just inside my top 25. Because if he can be healthy, he's 30 years old. He can still be one of the most dynamic players in baseball. It's just he's got to stay on the field.
Yeah, I
And
don't know that that's a real thing that's going to happen, though.
Yeah, I mean, all accounts is he's healthy right now. So like,
Mm-hmm.
until he's not, he is the kind of thing. But yeah, I see it. I hear you.
There are reports that he's going to run more this year, and if that's the case, then I do like him to get out of that bad tier that we just talked about and move
Yeah.
up the rankings. But he's got to show it, man. He's got to show it. And so many injuries just pile up that at this point, we're probably talking more like a Grady Sizemore outcome than we are, the top end echelon of outfielders.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So
32
who's your
for
new
me.
number 32?
A new number 32 is another guy who needs to stay on the field. Jazz Chisholm.
I've got him a little bit higher.
Interesting. I'm surprised at that. Uh,
Not much,
he,
but a little bit.
yeah, because he also like to me he's just like Byron Buxton. In the sense he's younger, but like same thing. He can't stay on the field, but when he's on the field, he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Twins better than the Marlins, so that's kind of a deciding factor for me too. And we haven't seen from Jazz the full bounty, like a full real season of whatever he can do. What he's done in partial seasons has been really good. I just I need to see a full season from him to make sure it's real.
Yeah, a full season of Jazz would be absolutely ridiculous. We got one in 2021 where he put up, I think it was 19 homers and 22 steals or something to that effect. No, that's what he did last year. So it was 18 and 23, maybe. I know it was like right around that number in
Yeah, but it
2021.
was still only 124 games, so like
Right.
it's almost a full season, but like it's not.
Almost like we're
Yeah,
getting there. So if
yeah,
we see 140 games out of him, I think he can push 25, probably more like 30.
sure.
But you've got to take the risk of this guy's going to get hurt. And the only other dude in the Marlins lineup I give any kind of shits about is Luis Ariz.
Yeah,
So
100%.
what's there to protect him in that lineup? All right, moving on to number 31. Who's number 31 for you?
I originally didn't have this guy ranked, and I looked at the numbers again, and I was like, I got to get him in here. I had Josh Lowe.
Hey, so do I.
Yes,
we got one.
Yeah. Look, I'm only looking back at last year, and it was really good. It was a really good year. Like even his expected batting average was nice. His ex Wobo was really good. Like, and 20 homers, 32 stolen bases. Like, and didn't strike out a ton. Like, it was a good season.
He was a
Some
top prospect for the Rays for a long time. They ended up moving his brother Nathaniel out of there in order to get him some more playing time. I like it as a post type sleeper. I really do.
Yeah.
I think last year was the chance to get in on that. Whereas this year, now you got to pay a little bit of a price tag. Center and right field eligible, 71 runs scored, 33 doubles, 20 homers, 83 RBIs, 32 stolen bases. Does not walk very much. Doesn't strike out as badly as other guys in this tier, only 25%. Yeah, I like him for a second season. My only concern is that the Rays lineup has taken a step back without Wander Franco.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be the guy to probably fill some of that void. I don't know if he's going to do it.
And it's going to be interesting to see because he didn't hit against lefties at all last year. Like they completely shielded him from lefties. So, like to your point though, they almost kind of have to bat him against lefties because who else are they going to hit? Like Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah.
Like they need him to hit. So his playing time is going to be a fun thing to watch.
Don't disrespect Ahmed Rosario. Don't disrespect Ahmed Rosario. He's my new starting shortstop in the Dynasty League. Don't disrespect Ahmed Rosario.
All right, you have fun with him.
All right. Who do you have at number 30, sir? Number 30.
30 is now Anthony Santander.
Right. I have a guy kind of similar. I have new Dodgers outfielder Teoscar Hernandez here.
Okay.
But 211 strikeouts last year, just no, you can't strike out 200 times and be anywhere near the top. I say that, and I have a dude who hit 200 or had 200 strikeouts at number 15. It's a whole different game here. Teoscar's going to be in that really nice lineup. I don't know where he's going to hit, but it doesn't really matter.
I feel like the whole Dodgers lineup can just be like completely shuffled, and everybody's going to kill it.
Yeah. So I've got him here at 30. I think it's a pretty safe spot for him to sit at. Just you're going to eat a ton of strikeouts from this guy.
Yeah, and like I mean, yes, the 211 strikeouts was really bad, but like prior to that, like he never really came close to that. So I
Mhm.
don't know what it is, but maybe that's an outlier, and like he can bring that back into check. In Los Angeles, this is going to be another walk year for him. So, I definitely have him higher.
Ball out, do whatever you can do to get another contract and move on. But holy shit, Teoscar Hernandez, I like him at 30, and that's about as far as I can get him. So my number 29 is Masataka Yoshida. My number 28 is Stephen Kwan. We talked about both of those guys. So who do you have at 29?
29, guy we've talked about in every other episode of this podcast is Brendan Donovan.
Ah, yes, the Brendan Donovan stereotypical. Here he is. He plays
Yeah,
everywhere. And
yeah.
who do you have at 28?
28, I have Suzuki.
All right, so we moved to number 27. Wow, this is flying by. Who do you have at 27?
I have Jaron Duran.
I have Marcelo Zuna here.
Oh,
Yeah. 40 homers, 100 RBIs last year, good batting average, decent walk percentage, doesn't strike out all that much. Braves lineup, everything about this screams really good, and I've got him just outside the top 25.
yeah. I guess I should find room for him somewhere in the top 50, huh?
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't like he's in your tier of people I don't like, and I don't know. Yeah, the numbers are there. I guess it's warranted, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't
This
even
is
think that.
also it's also a walk year for him, I believe.
That
So
sounds right.
this is the final year of that contract in Atlanta. Like this could be another really nice year, and he goes out and gets another contract. Plus, he hits the ball hella hard, like really hard compared to the guys around him. Like I just said I put him right above Stephen Kwan. That was the difference.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I guess I could make him 40 something, but
Yeah, I think you should put him in the 40s. I think you should at least have him on your radar. All right, rounding out the first half of these rankings, who do you have at 26, my friend?
Nolan Jones.
And I've got Jazz Chisholm.
Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know the OPS plus the numbers. I know the expected batting average is 30 points lower, or 50 points lower, whatever
Mhm.
it is.
50.
50. Okay, but 2020 season in 106 games, like that's really nice.
Mhm.
I think it's only gonna get better. Like, and he has first base, left field, and right field eligibility. His OPS
Yep.
plus was really good. He hits the ball really hard. The strikeouts are terrible, but you know what? He was a rookie. That's gonna come down. He walked 12.5% of the time. Um, I like him. I like
All
him.
right, I'll move him up. I'm going to move him up.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move him up. We're going to move him ahead of Austin Hayes. We're going to move him ahead of Christopher Morel. We're going to
Yep.
move him ahead of Friedel and O'Neill.
Yep.
Newt Barr and McCormick. Yeah, I think he's got to go ahead of those guys. If he goes ahead of one of the rookie guys, he has to go in front of all three of the rookie guys. He's got to go ahead of Verdugo, I suppose. I think that's as far as I can go because the next one's Jordan Walker, and I don't think I can get him past there.
Okay.
So
I,
from 50 to 40, I moved him up
I
10 spots for you.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right. We will save our sleepers, breakouts, and busts for the other half of this show. We're going to be doing that tomorrow, and we're going to be joined by Frank Bucco for the top 25 outfielders. Jason, thanks so much for being here with me, man.
Absolutely. This is fun. I can do this all year long.
Hell yeah, we've got the other half of the outfield show. Where then next week we're going to do the same thing with starting pitcher,
Yep.
two-part episode, 50 to 26 and 25 through 1. Then we do relief pitcher, which I don't even have the foggiest idea what we're going to do. Should we do it the same way we did last year with the breakdown of divisions?
Yeah, we could do something like that.
I like that. I like that. And then we're going to have the over-unders game because, dude, the season's coming.
Like in a month.
Yeah, it's going to
It's
be
crazy.
here really quick.
Like the
And
draft
before you
is
know
less
it,
than a
we're going to
month.
be, I know, it's crazy. Guys, thank you so much for being here and being part of this league. If you want to be a part of these shows, all you got to do is send a rankings and we'll schedule you to be on the show. Frank's on. We've had Mike Haber. We'd like to have somebody else before season starts. So get those lists in. Let us know that you're interested. Till next time, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. And it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.